Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower, and I have to go shut the door. We're busy trying to be a good neighbor. Many of you have already given some support to make our studio here soundproof, and if you'd like to support that, please, if you send the support, just say studio in the PayPal donation you make, or if you make it here on Super Chat, just say studio. If you want to contribute to the shortwave, which is going to start less than 1 week from today, shortwave the world over, then just put shortwave. Or if you just want to support for general reasons, please feel free to do so. And I don't want you to forget, because I'm afraid that there's people that are going to want to be at this great event coming up on December 10th, and you're not going to be able to do it because you're going to miss your spot. And I hope that you don't do it. I hope that you'll believe me. But if you want to be at the great event coming up on December 10th, I'm telling you, you need to go ahead and make your reservations now. You can still reserve at jeffreydaugherty.com. $50 per person. Heidi Vandenberg, Jenny Moonstone, this guy, Dan from Overwatch Channel, and still a good chance that we're going to have another very special guest. And of course, I'll be announcing this on Thursday, November 30th on Coast to Coast AM. So it's sure to be a full house. We can only take 100 people. We've got about half that already booked. So please, if you want to come, and I know you do, make your reservations today. You're going to get a free PDF of your Vedic chart from Heidi. You're going to get your numbers done from me, or maybe I can get Trisha to do that as well. And you're going to get that value is beyond the cost of the event. That includes your lunch. That includes all that good stuff. And once we announce it on Coast to Coast on a week from yesterday, so 6 days, I imagine it'll fill up literally overnight. Before I get off that broadcast, I imagine it will be full. And we literally can only take the amount that we can take, because it's a space issue. We don't have enough space, and that's just the way it is. So I'm not trying to be dramatic, not trying to create any false urgency. It just is what it is, and that really is what's going on. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that, and I wanted to make sure that you understand that, so you can make your plans appropriately. So what I want to do is talk to you about something. It's going to be a little bit short today. Ron, I salute you. Thank you very much. Good to see all of you here. And if you're new, I think I see a couple new names. It's good to have you here. And if not, it's still good to have you here. And we will always be glad to see you. And I'm just trying to check out some of the comments. But anyway, I shall stop being distracted. And I want to talk to you about something. I'm not going to lie to you. When science confirms some of the things that I've been trying to tell you, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel somewhat vindicated, even though I don't really have to be vindicated, because most of you are wonderful. But this is a study from Study Finds, written by Daniel Steingold. And this will probably be rather short, because it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. And at 9 o'clock, we have Sam Misrandino, the author of The Prince of Pieces, on to join us. And let me just give you a quick preview of that. Some of you may not remember what The Prince of Pieces is. You remember this comic book that I went through, The Prince of Pieces? For 2,000 years, you've been eating his flesh and drinking his blood. Now it's his turn. Well, this is going to be a conversation with Sam Misrandino, who is the author of this great comic book, and he'll be with us at 9 p.m. So I wanted to make sure to remind you to be here for that. Now, Study shows that being alone can be good for your mental health and sparks creativity. You remember how many times I've talked to you about having a meditation practice, how many times I've talked to you about being alone and turning off the radio and turning off the TV and turning off the car radio and just being alone and listening and being alone with your thoughts. Now, this comes out of Buffalo, New York, and it says, when it comes to seeking solitude, many people think it's only crazy people that seek solitude. Many people blame mental health issues, excuse me, as an underlying cause of wanting to be alone, of wanting to seek solitude. And I think that part of that is by design because they want you to think only crazy people want to be alone. But a new study, and one only wonders how many hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on this study. I'd have done it for half. But a new study finds that being alone has benefits. No shit. Sorry. Being alone has benefits, particularly when it comes to people looking for a surge of creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, now that a scientific study at the University of Buffalo has been done, will you believe me? Being alone and being in quiet often leads to a surge of creativity. And guess what? Surges of creativity are going to lead to spiritual explosions and spiritual surges as well. University of Buffalo interviewed 295 privacy valuing individuals, and I wasn't included, who report a variety of reasons for their tendency to spend a lot of time alone, ranging from feeling fear or anxiety around others to preferring to use spare time working on a craft. See, even when they're complimenting and even when they're confirming your Christian whistleblower and my exhortations to you to find some time to be alone, to get in touch with yourself, they still want to throw in the subtle jabs of, you're crazy, you got fear, you got anxiety. Not true. Although research has traditionally suggested that excessive time alone can be unhealthy, says who? I want to see that research. Although research has shown, where's the research? Some seclusive pursuits, such as trying to connect to nature or get a better sense of self, can be constructive, researchers found. Well, golly, we have to understand why someone is withdrawing to understand the associated risks and benefits, says Julie Bowker, the study's lead author, in a release by the University of Buffalo. When people think about the costs associated with social withdrawal, oftentimes they develop a developmental perspective, she continues. During childhood and adolescence, the idea is that if you're removing yourself too much from your peers, then you're missing out on positive interactions and like receiving social support, developing social skills, and other benefits of interacting with your peers. Oh, watch out. If you don't hang around with the crowd enough, you might not be like the crowd. If you don't hang around with the crowd enough, you might not adopt the crowd's beliefs. If you don't hang with the herd enough, you may not adopt the herd's beliefs, the herd's habits, and the herd's conditioning. So we got to drive you towards the herd. Heaven forbid that you not be part of the herd. The presumed downsides of being alone have lent a preference to a hard to erase stigma that you keep trying to make even harder to erase by your underlying comments. This is why we went through the whole Charlie Manson thing, so you can begin to see programming when you see it, when in the past you haven't seen it. More recent research has begun to recognize the potential benefits of alone time, provided it's an intentional choice prompted by positive emotions. Deeming individuals who follow such guidelines unsociable explains that they who may enjoy reading, working on the computer, or otherwise spending precious time alone. You know what? In a world that's gone crazy, maybe being unsociable is not such a bad idea. Why do you want to hang out with the herd? Why do you want to be like the herd, listen to what the herd listens to, do what the herd does, watch what the herd watches, eat what the herd eats, drink what the herd drinks? Why do you want to do that? Only if you want to become part of the herd. And even though they're trying to suggest that maybe not everybody, all those who wander are lost, they're still trying to subtly condition you to not want to be alone. Unsociable individuals are not at increased risk of negative health outcomes. Well, no kidding. In fact, the opposite's true. The researcher shows that they may enjoy a great benefit, improved creativity. If you want to get away from the herd, if you want to really wake up, if you want to stop being one of the many, if you want to stop being a cow, get away from the herd, get alone, turn off the media, improve creativity, improve spirituality, the ability to hear the voice of the divine, the ability to find yourself, and guess what? Get yourself ready to go to the next level, because you don't want to be not used to solitude and quiet when you pass from this life, because then you'll automatically have your choices ripped from you and you'll be drawn back into reincarnation. You'll be begging for it. That's why we're trying to get you alone, ladies and gentlemen. Those that spend more time alone are not antisocial. They don't appear to turn down social invitations. They get just enough peer interaction so that when they're alone, they're able to enjoy that solitude. Imagine the hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on this study to show that you should hang out with some people enough to be able to enjoy the solitude, and you're not crazy if you do. If you like to think creatively, if you like to develop new ideas, then being alone is a good practice. No kidding. But this scientific study has proven what your Christian whistleblower tells you. With these, over the years, being alone has been characterized as relatively benign social withdrawal. But now the new findings are linking being alone to creativity. And we might start thinking that being unsociable as a potentially beneficial form of social withdrawal. These studies were published in Personality and Individual Differences. Oh my. They so want us to be part of the herd that when we go off and spend time by ourselves to develop our own personality, to develop our own individual differences, most people think we're crazy. Because they want you to be part of the herd. Do you see? I want you to see two things here. Number one, being alone is a way to creativity. Being alone is a way to improve spirituality. And they're going to think you're crazy if you do it. They don't understand why you don't want to do the things they do. They don't understand why you don't want to say the things they say. They don't understand why you don't want to listen to and watch the things they want to listen and watch. They don't understand why you don't sound like them. Because you're not like them. They're asleep, you're awake. You have to decide which road you're going to take. And there is a social price to be paid for being awake while asleep. They stay. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, and be your own guru. But even now, the science shows what I've been trying to show you. The science shows what I've been trying to tell you. The science shows that if you get alone, you're going to get ahead, spiritually speaking. To the chat room we go on this short Christian whistleblower broadcast. I'm crossing my fingers that you stream the event or at least tape it. We'll do hopefully both of those. The Sunday show is good. Thank you. Yes, you've made a live broadcast because I looked not notified. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are getting notified. Again, if you want to make sure that you are notified, if you want to make sure that you do get all of these broadcasts, the best things to do, I'm just going to go to my YouTube and show you. So when you're on the YouTube, you want to do a couple things. First of all, you want to make sure that you're subscribed. In this thing, you want to make sure you're subscribed. And then you want to make sure that you've hit this bell, because this bell will tell you when I go live, supposedly. Now, if you're not subscribed, your subscribe button's down around here somewhere. Make sure you're subscribed, because people are getting unsubscribed. And make sure you hit this bell, because if you hit this bell, that's going to give you the notifications that I'm live, like this. Live now, science proves Christian whistleblower teaching. It'll show you, oh, Jeff's live. So that's what you have to do. Make sure you're subscribed. Every time you come on a show, you should make sure you're still subscribed, because people are getting unsubscribed. And make sure that your bell is lit up so you are getting the notifications. And make sure you keep checking Christian Whistleblower website for interesting information. I'm on Coast to Coast November 30th. Of course, here again is the extravaganza of enlightenment. If you do want to register, just go to this page, click here, and then you can go on the donate. And when you go on the donate like this, just please make sure that when you put in your donation, that you say seminar, so we can keep track of who is going to be there. And it's just that simple. It's just that easy for you to be a big part of the big doings. All righty then. I live in Mobile, Alabama. It's a short drive from Mobile to Clearwater, ladies and gentlemen. Tulpa Jeebus, absolutely. We'll be talking about him tonight at 9 o'clock. She's got to run errands. She's putting Jeffrey in the car. That's Jen Fisher. Excellent. Among Wolves likes to be alone. Sophie likes to be alone. Christopher says people need to spend time alone. Gravity Storm says people, the world's crazy, not her. She won't assimilate. Ron says, yes, it's important to be alone. Michelle says, pertinent to be alone. Crow says it's important to be alone. April Showers says they have so many reasons to do these things. I agree. Christopher says, like the yogis, absolutely. If I want to talk, I come on here. There you go. We're not being unsocial. That's correct. Sophie Starseed says, in the quiet, one can sense the blink and messages from the universe. Absolutely right. I knew that Jeff would, it jumped on me. Give me just 1 second. I knew that Jeff would come. I knew the day would come. Proven to be right. Get used to it. I think these days are going to come with more and more frequency. Being alone opens the pineal gland. Good observation. I don't care what they think. Excellent. A couple of years ago, I couldn't stand to be alone. Now she's changed. Excellent. Social conditioning, mind control, tell live vision. Yes, programming. The bads tell us that those who want to be alone are crazy. Not true. Just the opposite. Sometimes you'd rather be with animals than humans. I think that only keeps 2 hours of your shows. We did a 4-hour show last night, and there's only 2 hours available. I think that it only keeps the last 2 hours as it rolls. My belly keeps getting turned off, but they haven't unsubscribed me yet. Her bell keeps getting turned off, says April Showers. So keep checking. Make sure. My family's from Mobile. My cousin lives in Clearwater. Come on down. We are here. Kathy just moved back to the woods, adjusting to the silence. I always loved being away from the big city. And Crow B now knows herself better. Those are just some of. Rocker Chick loves to be alone. Big Teddy Smooth says he just got here, but I'm guessing he spends some time alone as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in an hour and a half-ish, and we're going to be talking to the author of The Prince of Pieces, Sam Misrandino, and I can't wait to hear about how this great comic came to be, and we'll talk a little bit about the comic world in general. Well, folks, that's it. Just a quick update. I salute you for being here seeking after truth. And until we meet again, I continue to encourage you to ask questions and question answers, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru, and continue to unindoctrinate yourself.